wear sunglasses too.
Oh yeah, why not? What?
I would try not to mess up your place too.
You don't wanna mess up my place.
How's life?
How's life? Life, my friend. Oh, it might obscure the. Does it obscure?
Yeah, he's in the he's in front. Good. Oh.
Makes sense. My mic is dropping.
Mic drop.
Obama did that.
Yeah, and then Trump won.
Dude, that has to be the greatest story ever.
He does.
What Obama did to Trump.
It will be in a movie one day.
But it should be in the movies.
should be
I'm
in
not
the
even
movie.
pissed about that.
Yeah.
It should be in the movie one day.
Yeah.
I mean, Obama goes up on that platform, insults the living shit out of Trump. Trump sits there, takes it, doesn't bitch, becomes the president, and destroys everything Obama did. Everything. Obamacare is fucked. Clinton, dude, no one in the last 40 years, as far as I know in detail, no one in the last 40 years has tried to become the American president as hard as Hillary Clinton has. No one has been pushed this much, funded this much.
She had everything on her side.
Like, everyone tried so hard to make this lady the first American lady president, and it didn't work. Trump fucked over Biden. Trump fucked over, what's his name? The neurotic socialist guy. Sanders. He fucked over Clinton. In a way, he fucked over Obama. And
Harris.
I mean, this dude just demolished everyone. I think people forget the first debates. And I'm not even saying about the Democratic versus Republican. I mean the debates between Republicans. The first time he shows up on that platform, in the Republican convention. Do you remember George Bush's brother was there? People forget. Jeb Bush was there.
Poor Jeb.
And he just said to Jeb, I know you're trying to be tough, but it's okay. Shush, shush. He shushed him.
Yeah.
He said, it's okay, shush. I mean, that was they were weird times you were living in, because obviously everyone thought Trump is not going to win. Obviously, he's not going to win. But it was entertaining.
It was.
And then he started winning. And now there was a special show of American comedians, Joe Rogan included, Bert Kreischer and all of these guys. Bill Burr. I know I love Bill Burr. And they were doing this show as the results were coming in live 24 hours. That show is a thing of beauty. Because they see the results coming. Everyone is sure Clinton is going to win. But then Trump starts winning. And liberals are losing their shit as if it's like Hitler is taking over.
Yeah.
Like when did you take over? 1933, Reichstag, right? 1934 or whatever the fuck it was.
Crying.
People are like, we are leaving, but they never left.
Nobody knows.
Most of the actors and actresses said, we are leaving, but they never left. Okay, the live is here because we are recording a podcast, but we might talk about India, Pakistan, because I thought I should lose around 1,000 followers at the very least. That's
the goal today, to lose.
Yeah, so I'm going to try to lose 1,000 followers today because I'm going to talk about India and Pakistan.
Oh, yeah.
And I have a lot of Indian followers, a lot of them.
We have safer subject, we can talk about Latinas,
Israel, Palestine,
anything, But
no. Let's go India, Pakistan.
Let's go in Kashmir.
Let's go India, Pakistan, because everyone has been asking me and I've been very quiet. I didn't say shit.
Tell me about Kashmir.
And by the way, just for reference, my father's side of the family is from Kashmir, the area we call Azad Kashmir now in Pakistan. So, okay, let me just describe Kashmir to you. Kashmir is a massive valley under Himalayas. It's divided into 3 areas, controlled by India, Pakistan, and China. It was run by Maharaja Gulab Singh in 1947 when British were leaving their shit. By the way, for people who don't know, separation was supposed to happen in August 1948. And in July 47, they said, let's bring it back a year. In July, they decided, let's cut it by 12 months and do it next month. India and Pakistan, which are bigger than Europe, let's just separate them now. Okay, so they decided that shit. So Kashmir was a princely state, like a lot of princely states. And a lot of things were, I don't even want to go into these details, but they were given the choice, choose a side, blah, blah, blah. Some chose a side, people accepted it. Some chose a side, but the states did not accept it because Hyderabad and Junagadh wanted to be in Pakistan, but they were landlocked in India. So India were like, fuck that shit. You're literally in the center of India. You're this big. How are you going to be with Pakistan? So they went in with soldiers, slapped them around and took the place. There were a lot of princely states, right? Okay, that's one thing. So Kashmir was a princely state. A lot of shit happened. There was a war, later 1947, early 48, very small one. And basically where both armies were meeting. Long story short, Maharaja wanted to be with India eventually. His people were 80% Muslim. So technically they should have gone to Pakistan. But India landed the forces because Maharaja signed the thing that I want to go with you. So the government of India had official, reason to go in. The general was British. India had most of the army and the money because most of it was not transferred to Pakistan. Because the Governor General, Lord Mountbatten, whose wife, first Prime Minister of India, Nehru, was banging, by the way. Openly banging. Nicely banging. But anyways. So he didn't like Pakistan and Jinnah basically. Yeah, I don't blame him, fine. Where the forces stopped and the peace happened, that place became the line of control. It's not an international boundary. It's called the line of control. So now what we say is that side in India is Indian occupied Kashmir. And they say that side is Pakistan occupied Kashmir. Pakistanis have been saying for 60 years that Kashmir is ours. India wasn't saying that about our peace. But since the last 15 to 20 years, the narrative has changed a lot with the BJP, which is the government. So now they have started laying claim to the Pakistani side of the Kashmir. This is ours. Bring it back. It gets complicated with the United Nations resolutions and this and that and blah, blah, blah. The baseline is only way this could have ever been solved was on a table, talking. That's the only way it could have ever been solved. It's not easy to just take it. It's too big. The militaries are too big on both sides. The budgets are too big. People are too crazy. There's a lot of, warm weather. And now they're both nuclear powers. So any conflict which goes more than 5-6 days is going to end up fucking up the whole planet. The dust clouds in the air, lack of vegetation, people dying by starvation as far as Argentina. Everyone will get fucked if India and Pakistan has a nuclear exchange. Even as much as, let's say, 8 or 9 weapons each. You're done. Because even the smallest weapon is at least 20 times bigger than Hiroshima. Minimum. Even the tactical nukes are way bigger than that. Look, Pakistan is nuts. Always has been. Pakistan is run by Pakistani military behind the scenes. Always has been, always will be. Right now there is a government which has no mandate, obviously, and they are being run by the Pakistani military. The guy who should be, I don't like him either. I like no one. But the guy who should be the prime minister is in prison by the military because he's refusing to make a deal with Pakistani military. So Pakistani military is at the all-time low in terms of likability in Pakistan right now. They are really hated for the last 2 to 3 years. I want to make this has never happened before. Pakistani military as an institution is hated in Pakistan right now. Okay. India, BJP. Very long story short, RSS is an organization inspired by SS of Hitler. The guy who wrote the book Hindutva has an ideology about Hindus ruling the subcontinent and all the foreigner religions should be exterminated and removed from the region, etc. Long story short, it's a bit of a nuts ideology. RSS became the biggest organization in terms of people employed in the world, volunteer organization. The current prime minister is from that organization, but that organization made another political party which was dissolved in 80s. Then they made another one in late 80s, BJP, which is the current ruling party, smaller one, against Congress. Most of the radical and right-wing elements in India went to BJP. And they kept gaining more seats and gaining more seats. And I think in late 90s or early 2000s, they were able to make their first government. If I'm right, Atal Bihari Vajpayee made the first government. Actually, a very nice person, reasonable guy. I really liked him. In his tenure, there was a last chance of Pakistan-India peace. There were very good talks. It gets complicated why they fall out, but they basically reached a lot of decisions about Kashmir to solve it peacefully. It was this close. They came to Lahore, Pakistan, and the Pakistani president went to India as well. Musharraf, who was a Pakistani general at the time, and there was an exchange. Everything was good. But then they screwed it up. And there was a Kargil war, of course, and all that misadventures and idiotism from Pakistan side.
When is that?
Kargil is around 1999,
Okay.
I think. And then the military took over in 99, and they stayed in power until 2008, roughly. That's when I grew up in Pakistan, during that insane time. Okay. So Indian BJP. Narendra Modi was governor or chief minister of Gujarat when the massacres happened. Few thousand Muslims were raped and killed. Legally, he was not found guilty, but obviously everyone knew he was. And they were quite happy about it. Completely nuts people, by the way. Almost like Israelis, some of them. BJP and RSS people. Complete nut jobs. And they don't realize that they're nut jobs. You can go read comment section. They have no value for innocent lives in Pakistan. Kids dying in India or Pakistan or anywhere, or civilians, anywhere, doesn't matter where. Gujarat, Uttar Pradesh, Lahore, it's the same thing. It's just normal people. Why the hell are they dying? But anyways, but it's difficult to blame a lot of Indian population. It's not all, obviously. It's a massive country. But some of them, they grew up in this India. In the last 20 years, BJP almost has been continuously in power, apart from one tenure of Sonia Gandhi. So it's difficult to blame them, to be honest. They grew up in this India with the cult of Modi as prime minister, at least for more than a decade now, or close to a decade. There's a strict control. Bollywood movies and actors have aligned themselves with the political party. All of that kind of shit has happened. Point is, both sides are nuts in their own way. India has Hindutva ideology, RSS-driven BJP political party whose prime minister was considered a terrorist and was not allowed to enter United States of America for years until he became Prime Minister of India. He couldn't enter America, he was a terrorist. Then he became a Prime Minister of India.
Guy.
Then he became the Prime Minister and they had to take him off the list.
Right.
And Pakistan is nuts because, Pakistani military runs the country. And the guy who should be running the country is in prison. Has been for now 2-3 years now. 2 years? Something, I don't know. And they just keep throwing fake, cases at him. So both countries are nuts. What's more nuts is a lot of water for the 200 million in Punjab, Pakistani Punjab province, comes from India. There's a 1960 treaty. So some terrorist attack happens. Okay, terrorist attacks. This is also this bullshit that we apparently don't like to talk about. Pakistan funds terrorists in India. Everyone knows that. India funds terrorists in Pakistan. Everyone knows that. Balochistan is a province trying to get independence from Pakistan. Rightfully so, in a way. Pakistani army has brutalized people in Balochistan.
I was told it's the same in India, like the Indian population in
Kashmir.
Kashmir
We are both assholes.
is also
we are both assholes.
Suffering at Indians' hand. Like
Kashmir. Kashmir has suffered for decades, right? So India funds the independence movement in Balochistan and some terrorist activity across the board as well, 100%. Why wouldn't they? They considered Pakistan a military and state enemy. So their agencies will fund adversary. Like, that's basic normal politics, right? And I'm pretty sure Pakistan funds a lot of organizations and people within India, weaponry, money, whatever, to do certain activities. I'm pretty sure that happens. Is this the right thing to do? No. Does it happen? Yes. Do both countries do it? Yes. Have been doing it for decades? Yes. So few terrorist attacks have happened in India. Nothing compared to Pakistan. Pakistan has lost more than 90,000 people in terrorist attacks. Not because Pakistan is a terrorist organization or something, because of it's just geopolitics and history. Soviet Union came in, they wanted us to train the Pashtuns, we did, we took some money for ourselves, there was some corruption, of course, and then some Pakistani generals tried to use Taliban and other factions in Afghanistan for our own benefit, of course, why wouldn't you, to secure the border, the Afghanistan border, right? So they intervened. because we are economically and military very smaller than India. So they thought this is a good idea. Let's secure one border so we can only concentrate on that one. That backfired. The Afghanistan became more and more extreme over the years. Anyway, so this attack happens in Palgham in Kashmir. The weird thing here is it's happening in the Kashmir. Kashmir, which has been a problem area for decades, which recently, after 2-3 years of siege almost, India has changed the status of Kashmir, Indian Kashmir. They're no longer saying it's a disputed territory, they're saying it's Indian territory, which is technicality. Eventually, honestly, who the fuck cares? They're controlling the area, right? They can name it this or they can name it that, who cares?
Right, but now we can say it's an attack on India. Like it's maybe it's better for them to be.
They could have said that before as well, to be honest.
Okay.
Apparently, I didn't look a lot into the attack, to be honest, because I knew what's happening. This is not the first time it's happening. It's the 10th, 50th time. Some guys go in, they ask people, are you Hindu or Muslim? And they shot the Hindus who were tourists in their own country, because Kashmir is very beautiful, like Switzerland. So people go to north. And it's a terrorist activity. In this one, they didn't really provide any proof if it's Pakistan or not. Their narrative is, it's always them, so why should we provide for proof this time? We provided proof last times. They didn't attend our meetings. Pakistan said you didn't. It's a he, she said thing, right? They said we provided proof before. Pakistan said, no, you didn't. Okay, so this time you're not providing proof. They've done a similar thing a year or two ago in Uri or something, but it was a battle of misinformation. No one knows what actually happens. Indians said we did some strikes and commandos went in. Pakistan says, no, they didn't. No one has any way to prove their point. But one thing did happen. Pakistan, I think, downed an Indian air plane. They got the pilot and gave him tea. A lot of memes were made. Do you like our tea? And then they, returned the guy. But that's it. This time, things went further. First of all, they got the French Rafale jets. Ooh la la. The sexual French jets, which cannot be down to the 4.5 generation. The best in the world. They're French. Of
if
course.
it goes down, you buy another one.
And you eat a croissant in it. It's so stable with some coffee. And
have a nap, a cigarette.
Yeah, absolutely. And, have a transaction. No. But, so...
Or a child.
Yeah. So they lined them up. They sent some missiles into Pakistan. There were missile strikes. Details matter, but they don't matter. So I can go into details, but basically innocent people died. Multiple places. But the thing is, they didn't just do it in the disputed territory of Pakistani Kashmir.
To Lahore, no?
They crossed the international border and they struck cities in the first strike. No, it wasn't Lahore in the first strike, I think. And that was a big deal. That's literally the declaration of war. It is. The Pakistan, any doctrine, but Pakistani doctrine said that's a declaration of war. And now a lot of weird shenanigans are happening after that. In nights, drones start flying either direction, mostly Indian to Pakistan, Israeli made. 70 plus, they shoot them down. And they do cause damage in the cities. As per my knowledge, Pakistan could have done a hard kill and shot all the drones down, but they didn't. Because the drones were being sent to do damage, but more than that, they were being sent there so they could actually get hit. Because as soon as they would get hit, the drones will figure out that's where those hard kill systems are installed. So then they could do a real strike on those systems. Those systems are expensive. So Pakistan didn't do hard kills. They did soft kills with like guns and Gatling guns and that kind of all other soft kills. But that means that you have to let them get closer. So it was a strategical thing. Pakistan took some losses because they didn't want to reveal the position of their own. Obviously, they're not going to tell that to the public. So public doesn't know that some of us died just because
they believe that. Do you think so? You don't think it's because you say the military is hated? I mean, Is it competent? Would you say?
Oh yeah,
yeah,
very. Okay.
That's
one thing in Pakistan which is competent.
Okay.
That's honestly they are competent. They don't have the same resources, but they're competent. So, for example, if this was a longer duration war, problem is not going to arrive with the equipment. Pakistan has decently advanced equipment, planes and anti-air and all of that shit. The problem is they will run out of artillery, ammunition and petrol within a week. You cannot have a war without. India will not. But obviously that cannot happen. The problem with testing that is, first of all, China will step in. They already did. They'll start supplying. The second is obviously if Pakistan feels like the integrity of the state is going to be breached, they're going to start using nuclear warfares, nukes. And they're very clear about that.
Yeah.
Because there's a joke about Pakistani military, like the Prussian military under 1870 Prussia. that Pakistan is not a country which has an army. It is an army which has the country. So Pakistani military, even if they were not solving, and even if they were not defending the country, they are going to defend themselves, and they are going to use nukes. If they think we cannot stop these guys with conventional warfare, there's like 300 million of us. There's like 1.5 billion of them. They're going to start using nukes. That's the danger. You cannot play this game anymore. They went very far. 3 days of drone strikes, missile strikes. 5 planes were downed in India in the initial go. 3 of them were Rafales. India obviously refused to accept it until CNN started accepting it. French Rafale manufacturers started accepting it because they have trackers. And India now has, even their air marshal was doing, they didn't really accept it, but obviously everyone knows the jets were downed. As far as I know, they said an F-16 was down, but no one has confirmed it, because if an F-16 goes down, American aviation services do confirm it. Because whether it's a French giving jets to India or Chinese or Americans giving jets to Pakistan, none of these jets actually are fully equipped. No country ever gives their jets fully equipped. They keep certain parts of jets or certain technologies to themselves. They never give them away. So the fully loaded Rafale will only be ever used by French, right? Yeah. So they give 80% of the jet to you, let's suppose this way. And they can track all of them. And they can even put conditions on it. For example, American F-16s cannot be used against certain Indian civilian population. Like, they have conditions on top of that. It's not as simple as that. So jets were down. That's a source of embarrassment. And because the ceasefire happened, both sides did not want to accept it. But an Indian female pilot was captured in Pakistan as well. I'm pretty sure she was just returned under the radar, because they were already embarrassed by the male one. And if the female pilot was shown on TV in Pakistan, in that region, you have a female pilot, it would go really badly. Tempers would flare up, emotions would flare up. I'm happy no one showed it. It was a sign of some common sense left, at least. 3 days later, Trump does a tweet. I've talked to both parties. They have calmed the down, ceasefire. In Indian parliament right now, it's hell. They're going after their prime minister. First of all, why did you stop a third party? Their narrative, Indian media is insane. Pakistan is bad, but Indian is just insane. At some point, they were misreporting on major channels that we destroyed the Karachi port. We are actually already occupied this city, and that's it. No infantry ever crossed the border. That is a different scale of a war if you start crossing into the border in tanks and infantries and jeeps. So Indian media really gave a very wrong impression to their population. They closed down international media and Pakistani media, so people had to use VPN in India. That also has started a lot to promote misinformation. Let's shut down the other mediums of communication. So Indian Parliament is, because they're saying we could have taken the whole Kashmir from Pakistan. Why did we stop? And I'm sitting there, I'm like, you really want to start a nuclear? It's like all the politicians are here. No one is mentioning nuclear war. They both know they have like 500 to 600 missiles each.
They do, yeah.
And they don't need to go long distance. And you cannot stop them all, even if you have S-400 or some version of you cannot stop them all from this. Lahore is 24 kilometers from Indian border. What the fuck are you going to stop from that distance? It's too late. Even if they explode a nuclear weapon in Lahore, India is fucked. It's too close. You can explode it on your own territory, and your territory is fucked. You don't even need to send it very far away. So it's a very dangerous game of chicken. BJP has extremist, nuts Israeli type elements, and they're very close friends with Israel, by the way.
They do.
And they were all very, for the last 2 years, they have been saying very nice things about Israeli war in Gaza, that Israel should kill them all, and they're fighting for all of us. So slowly, Hindutva and BJP narrative has become basically anti-Islamic narrative somehow, although they have like 200 Muslims in the country, which is even more weird. And they're getting fucked, by the way, for years now. They can't have apartments or something in certain areas. They can't live. They can't have jobs. They're becoming second tier.
But this Indian party is not inspired by SS initially.
No.
So
RSS is inspired by Hitler's SS. Okay. The book the guy wrote, it actually says there he's giving Hitler compliments. The book was written in like late 20s or early 30s. Okay. In those times. Okay. The BJP is a political party which was formed in late 80s or mid 80s. It had a different name before, Jay Singh or something. I forgot the name of the party in Indira Gandhi's time. So that was a political branch of that foot soldier party in the parliament and all that.
So the Nazis are supporting the Zionists.
Because Zionists have become Nazis.
It's just a weird
turn of history, right?
Right.
Because in a way it makes sense. If someone would brutalize you in that fashion, maybe you would become the people who did that to you, because you'll be like, maybe this is what I should have been. If I would have been this would not have happened to me.
Yeah.
You know? Maybe strength is the answer. And then obviously you will overdo it.
Yeah.
So, but India and Pakistan, there's a lot of details we can keep going on and on about it, but it's beyond idiotic. Pakistani side is claiming victory, Indian side is claiming victory. There's a meme war going on the internet. The comment sections are like, it's as if people are fighting for their own blood or something. It's really bad. Some guy cursed my mother and sisters out yesterday. And then he started talking about Prophet and saying weird shit. And I'm like, what are you doing? And all I posted was, because there was an Indian political commentator, and he was saying, why do some of our politicians say that Pakistani civilians do not want war? Did they do an audit or something? And I went like, hell, I'm a Pakistani civilian, I'm telling you we don't want war. That's all I said. And there are like 11 comments, paragraphs, of people just going insane at me.
Like crazy.
All I said was like, we don't want war. Like maybe some of us do, and there are fucking idiotic people everywhere. But we don't want war. Who the fuck wants a war? A nuclear war? The Pakistan-Indian border is like, I don't remember, 1,500 or 1,800 kilometers or something. Who the hell wants that shit these days? And the other problem is, Pakistan has nothing to lose. Economy is in the gutter. We run on welfare from Saudi, China and America. We have nothing to lose. Everyone is leaving, and India is becoming a big economy. It's a trade center of the world. They have everything to lose. Their stock exchanges are going to go through the fucking floor. Why would you want a war? It's expensive. It takes everything away from everyone. Why do you want a war? Pakistanis will fight a war. China will give them weapons. They'll fight. So, the real question, because you haven't seen a great movie called JFK, is not what, where, when. The real question is why. There are only 2 or 3 conclusions. One, some nut job terrorist group did this on themselves. Second, there's an election in the province of Bihar, which BJP is losing seats recently. So they did a false flag operation, prepped up their prime minister by military action, which is very popular. And now he becomes the Iron Man, and they win the election in the province. The third conclusion is Pakistani army did do this behind someone, because suddenly there's a military action and Pakistani army is very famous again and loved by the people. They're at all-time low in last 3 years, and now suddenly Pakistani civilians love them. They love a military dictator who's running the country, who has imprisoned the most famous political leader in Pakistan's history under bars, and his wife. Wife and husband both were behind bars, humiliated, an elected leader, and suddenly that military is famous in Pakistan. So who benefits? Pakistani military benefits. Does Indian Prime Minister benefit? That's a tricky one. Initially, I thought Indian Prime Minister will benefit from this. But seeing the parliamentary procedures in India currently, I am not completely sure this dude benefited. Maybe he thought he'll benefit. But it's a mixed bag. I don't know if he benefited or not. But that's the important question ultimately. It's not about who has the bigger missiles or the better jets or whatever. The real question is who benefits. And this only people who benefit are the ones sitting in the thrones. And the civilian population has died, a lot of them. Especially in Kashmir, because both sides started artillery shelling. Both sides. The artillery, I got some messages from my cousins. They live in Kashmir. They sent me some pictures. I have seen pictures from Indian side of Kashmir as well. Both sides, children are dead. People are dead. Women are dead. Schools are off. Public transport got fucked. Basically, Kashmiris died. A lot of them. Both sides. So, yeah. That's my take on India and Pakistan. They are the leadership is dumb. I know they must have had a plan before they did that. That we will escalate and we will stop and it will not go to nuclear war. I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
This was not accidental. They're not actually stupid. They obviously had a plan. We will stop before. But the problem, what they don't realize, I think, is in these situations, some mistakes can happen. One bullet gone wrong, one artillery shell hitting a religious site, one wrong important person getting killed, one thing becoming a slogan in the country. Before you know it, a lot of stupid things happen. You can control these things to a long distance, but like not completely. There's always a margin of error when you play with fire.
So what about the water situation now?
Water situation. Everyone who talks me to be, okay, are you going to ever move to Pakistan back? I always tell them, sooner or later, there has to be a war in India and Pakistan, and then the whole region is fucked. The war will be because of two reasons. Because apparently we cannot talk to each other. Because our leaders do not want to talk to each other because they use that to fuel their political campaigns. And the reason we have to talk to each other because there are around 2 billion people in Bangladesh, India, and Pakistan. And the water routes which are coming from, by the way, Kashmir, Indian control Kashmir, they feed hundreds of millions of people. They already have made some dams on it, which were against the World Bank-sponsored 1960 treaty. Already those dams exist. I can tell you, blowing up those dams was considered by Pakistani side in this campaign, but they couldn't because they are so massive, they cannot be taken down by airstrike. That would have made things interesting. Eventually, water situation is that in the short term, they might try to find some solution behind the doors, so no one loses any political merit. But long term, there will be a conflict because these people are unwilling. BJP is not going to sit down with Pakistan. Any BJP Prime Minister party who decides to sit down with Pakistan to talk about these things is going to lose a lot of political capital, especially after all the campaigning and brainwashing they have done in the last 15 years. There will be no conversations. No one is going to talk. So just like Taiwan or Russia, America, Ukraine situation, or this is one of those situations which can start a proper world war.
On the boiling point.
Yeah, India and Pakistan, because China will take Pakistan's side, Russia, who knows, maybe India's side, America might try to take both sides. India puts a lot of money in Afghanistan, so they might take Pakistan might get attacked by two sides, but Pakistan has nukes. But apparently we are pretending that they don't for some reason, which I don't understand. Why would you fucking attack a nuclear country?
I'm sure they won't work, with Pakistan. It's
yeah, but Pakistan recently tested a missile which can reach as far as America. That's not accidental. That's insane. Pakistan is very far away from America. So, I don't know. It's a lot of stupid competition, basically, to me.
Yeah. So are you losing 500?
By talking about this topic, I'm going to lose somewhere around 500 to 800 followers today.
Okay.
I think. Yeah. That's my estimate. But you want to bet?
Let's see what you guys think.
Do you think that Hinduism narrative can get stronger or weaker in the recent future? I think it will get stronger. It's too simple to understand. Simple things to understand always get stronger. Right now, people in Pakistan are putting banners up for army.
Putting what?
They're putting banners up for army, that we love our army and all that.
Okay. That's a quick...
Mission accomplished.
That's a quick reversal.
This is Anu from India. BJP has never won that province, the province of Bihar where the election is coming. And never will, because we are casteist and will never unite under Hindutva flag. By the way, I'm from Bihar. Okay. Caste issue is also very massive in India, so... They vote along those lines. What else? Did anyone say anything productive at all? Sometimes people tell me they want to marry me here.
I want to marry you.
Fuck you. Hello, Ali Bhai. Well, hello. I don't want to marry you, Matthew.
It's just for money.
I don't have that kind of money. Don't marry me for money. So, no. Anyways, I'm putting the I'm doing it again. So, anyways.
We're back.
So that was about India and Pakistan.
Yeah.
Yeah. How are you doing? Any wars in France in recent times?
No, we sell the things, the equipment to other countries, and they fight.
That must be nice, right?
Yeah, we do. We're very comfortable.
Because I do know that because these things happen so less now. Like the dogfights, aerial dogfights between advanced jets are so few. They're so few.
Too fast.
That this will be studied everywhere now.
Yeah.
F-16s against Rafale and JF-17, which is no one buys it, but its stock went up. JF-17, which is also 4.5 generation, but it's a lot cheaper than Rafale. French things are expensive, bro.
Yeah, it is. It's fancy.
Why are you so expensive? Why can't you be cheap like China? What the fuck is wrong with you? What's up with white people?
We just like to shine, shiny things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Ooh la la.
Be better.
Why is someone calling me? Like there's a phone number they're calling me right now.
We don't need this.
Is this a Spanish number? It is a Spanish number.
Looks like it.
They're calling me right now.
It's the delivery, maybe.
Well, they're not gonna get anything delivered right now, so it's okay. I am not getting out from this chair. So, done anything interesting lately?
Have I?
Mm-hmm. No?
No, not so much. I'm
So
trying to live, survive.
Trump is visiting Middle East.
He is?
He's accepting a flying palace from the Qataris.
Nice.
He's also shaking hand with the non-terrorist Syrian president.
Who's not a terrorist?
Who's not a terrorist.
Who never has been.
Because he meets white people and wears a suit and his beard is trimmed now.
And he shook my president's hand. He went to the Élysée Palace in Paris.
Really? Macron met him as well?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, but Syria and France have a long history anyways.
Big smile.
Syria was under France, right?
Syria?
Lebanon as well. Syria
Lebanon,
as well.
yes.
Syria as well.
Okay. I don't know.
South was British. Egypt was British. But I think Lebanon, Syria, that area was under the French.
Maybe. I don't even know. What's a tragedy, really?
Oh my God. Trump is... I saw this somewhere and it's so outstanding. So basically, this is the times we live in. The guy fucks a porn star with fake tits. Gives her money to stay quiet. She doesn't stay quiet. She tells everyone. Stormy Daniels, by the way. Old school.
Oh, yeah.
Old school.
Story, yeah.
And she tells everyone. And then this dude becomes president of America. Like everyone knows he's been with a porn star and he's the president of America.
I mean, if there's only one country where it's possible, it's the US. It's the only place.
I mean, Colombia maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Colombia maybe.
Colombia, it will get you positive points.
I mean,
speaking
of Colombia, I mean, we need to go there.
No, we don't need to go to Colombia. We really don't need to go.
No, we will not tell anyone that we are going to Colombia. But there will be signs. Our bank balances will drop significantly. We will come back very tired. And we will want to go back immediately.
And very single too.
Yeah, I mean, if we go, but we need to go to Colombia.
Medellin.
We need to go to Colombia.
Escobar.
For those of you who do not know why we are saying that we need to go to Colombia, we cannot say that because we want to live.
Die.
Yes. Yeah, we want to live. So we cannot talk about that topic a lot, but you can Google it. Why guys go to Colombia? You can Google it. This sort of comments and narrative we saw in this episode from Indian civilians is frighteningly hideous. This, in my opinion, depicts that BJP narrative is not going anywhere soon. Well, I don't know about the hideous or behavior, but one thing I can tell you, like BJP narrative is not going anywhere. Of course, why would it go anywhere? Like it sells, it's powerful, it's strong. Modi years in India, in a way, have been great for India. India became almost close to a superpower in those times. Why would it go away? right wing in India in Pakistan is equally vile. No, sir. It's not equally vile. It's a lot more than equal. Pakistani right is a different kind of vile. It's
I cannot say. I don't know about this. I would have
don't say it.
Trust that.
Don't say it. You don't want to die. Just trust me. You don't want to talk about these things. They're proper gangsters. So there you go. Next week I'm gonna go to the desert again. Abu Dhabi, desert. Nothing around, as long as the eye can see. And then I'm just gonna sit in the desert. That's what I'm gonna do. What you doing?
What am I doing?
You're going to Madrid, right? When are you going? Or did you already?
End of the month, yes.
End of the month. This month.
Yes.
Ooh la la. Ed Sheeran.
I'm going to see Ed. Yeah.
The ginger boy.
Ed Sheeran, ginger boy.
Oh my god.
Go to a nice restaurant and see Ed Sheeran. Ed Sheeran? How do you even?
I don't know because I don't listen to his music. How dare you?
I don't listen to his music.
How dare you?
I don't listen to his music.
Listen, Matthew. You're going to his concert.
I am.
Just accept it. You just lost at least 20% of your manliness right there.
I did, yes.
And you're going to lose at least 20% more when you attend the concert.
Things you do for love.
The things you do for love.
Yeah.
So are you telling us you're in love?
I'm not saying this. I guess I am because if I told myself you will go to Ed Sheeran concerts in your life, I would say no. Don't.
Exactly.
Never.
It's like if someone asked me, will you ever go to a Justin Bieber concert? I would be like, are you crazy?
Why is not happening?
Are you cray? Are you sure it's not ever happening? Are you sure?
Why is not happening?
Really?
No,
What if you're asked?
Oh no.
By that special someone? No.
I was trying to get. I guess you don't know this guy, Bad Bunny.
I do know him.
Okay, I kind of like some of his music. I tried to get a ticket for his concert next year. Impossible. 350,000 people in front of me waiting for
Matthew. I've been told he's not very authentic.
I know.
There are certain people who do not like him. Certain people. I like his music.
I like him.
But I don't speak Spanish.
Yeah, I know. You don't listen.
Yeah, so people who do speak Spanish apparently think he's not very authentic, so they don't like his music. But I'm me for Mana. I like his music. I don't really care.
I'm just naive.
I went to Majorca. It's an island in Mediterranean Spanish. So we went to this area, Palencia. Basically, it's British, German, and Dutch people with expensive as hell bikes. Like I'm talking about 13,000 euro bikes.
Yeah.
And they're just summiting these peaks and they're just I'm driving in the car and I'm seeing this, at the very least, Matthew, 60-year-old man with those open shirts and tight shorts. And he's just dying there. He's just killing himself trying to go up this mountain. And I'm like, why? You could spend the same amount of money and be doing cocaine in Medellin right now.
Yeah.
But you're here trying to summit this mountain. What's wrong with German people?
That's why they did World War II, you know. They don't know how to have fun.
I honestly think they don't.
There's no notion of having fun.
No, there's not.
I think when they won, they invaded France, and they saw us, we lost, we were humiliated, but we're still having fun, having a cigarette and coffee.
Yeah.
I think they were jealous, They were like, fuck this.
Why are you having fun?
We created the Blitzkrieg.
Yeah.
And it's not fun. You guys you lost and you're having fun. What's going on?
I think the same with Italians as well, because Germans might have been like, we won, but you're not having any fun. Why are you? Why are you having fun?
Yeah.
I genuinely think, even if you go to Berlin and all that, or go to anywhere in Germany, without giving too many details where I go, or went, in the past, long distant past. Before
That is a lot of disclaimer.
Not anymore. I'm a good boy. No, but in the past, in ancient history, even when they're having fun, they're angry.
Yes.
Their dance is angry. Their techno music is angry.
It is.
Their bars and clubs are angry. People
angry.
are like, They're not like Spanish or Latino. They're like, no. They're not like dancing salsa or something. Their dance is angry. They're punching in the air.
It is.
They're angry. They're kicking in the air.
There's no fun in Germany. They know how to get comfortable. Birkenstock.
It's scary type of fun. It's fun.
It is.
But the Gothic people are not Gothic people.
No, they're not.
They're really Gothic people. Like they get scary gothic,
Yes,
like that kind of gothic.
they do.
So I do think that Germans do not want to or do not know how to have fun. But when did they stop though? Or it was the case that they never could have fun.
Yeah, it's Protestant. You know.
No, even before. I mean, when Julius Caesar was campaigning in Gaul, in your country, at one point, that's the first instant that we get of Germans in
Yes.
literature. Because there's a river, I'm assuming Rhine, and he says, some cavalry units cross it,
Yeah.
and they're German cavalry.
That
and
is one of his biggest flex, by the way, making that bridge.
Yeah.
Building that bridge in like 3 weeks or something.
And he was like imagine they're used to Canterbury and all sorts of massive barbarian in millions crossing over Alps and Italy. So they have seen a lot of barbarians. And he's in active war with Gauls for almost 12 years or 16. According to him, when he saw the Germans, he was like, they made Gauls look civilized. They were that scary. And the Roman soldiers were relieved that they did not have to fight these German horsemen. And later on, they had a small contingent of these German cavalrymen actually with them when they attacked Gaulish people. He made them work with him. I don't know at which battle or which point. I don't remember. That's the first. But even the first mention of them is not like they're having fun, they're happy, they're smoking. No. It's just they appeared and everyone was like, what is that? What is that? On a horse? What is that? The fucking Germans. I was asked a lot, why don't we go live in Germany by some people sometimes, but I never wanted to go live in Germany. Although it's beautiful. Nature, lakes, rivers, clean, mountains, great administration, very high taxes, bad language, bad food. But everything else is, pretty great. But I was like, no. That, and if there ever is a World War III, Germany is getting nuked. Germany is getting fucked.
From the inside.
From the inside out. Europe has issues. You know what the British Prime Minister did recently? Have you seen his recent speech?
The Prime Minister. Who is the Prime Minister of the UK right now? Starmers?
Yeah.
That guy who...
The guy with a big right hand puff and big glasses, as if he's 1982.
Is that the guy who very recently went from kind of typical British liberal whatever to I'm going to kick all the Muslim out. And
He was a centrist.
Yeah, he was like a centrist. Okay,
he was a centrist.
That has to be one of the most beautiful invasion of this time. The centrist. It has to be. It wasn't a thing before.
I'm a centrist.
Can you imagine back in Rome, you had like the people on the right, people on the left, and then this guy right in the middle. What are you, a centrist? Fuck off, man. You pick a side. I don't care.
Are you with Caesar or with the Roman Senate? I'm a centrist.
I'm a centrist.
I'm not with Caesar. I'm not with the Senate. I don't know which
I'm better than you.
I'm a libertarian. They'll be like, fuck off.
But that guy is getting stabbed before Caesar.
Yeah, he's definitely, he should get stabbed.
Yeah, and this guy is on Twitter saying like, "Oh, we kicked out 20,000 people." We're like, he's going to lose everyone because he's not getting the guys on the right who would usually enjoy this, and he's losing his own.
I don't know about that. He might gain some right people, I think.
Yeah.
If he keeps doing what he's doing.
We're not going to fall for it.
But the problem with UK is there is no really massive right-wing party.
No, yeah.
They're just conservatives and liberals, right? Conservatives are right, but they're not far right. They're never far right. One good thing about UK is that there's no proper far right. If there is, it's very fringe. There's no major political party until now. There are elements which are joining in. So he was making a speech a few days ago, the Prime Minister of UK, and he was like, immigration has destroyed our country. And there's a lot of videos going on Instagram and they're not saying what they want to say, but it's very obvious what they're saying. What they're saying is, look, London is not white anymore. Look, Birmingham is not white anymore.
Suddenly that's the issue. Suddenly that's
it used to be
that's
beautiful.
the narrative.
It used to be beautiful. And then they will show you the breakdown in civics. So there's a lot of garbage here, or there's a graffiti here, or there are very bad neighborhoods. There's increase in crime, all those things, which are fair point. They have happened. And absolutely, immigrant populations are involved in a shitload of those crimes. But so are white people.
Hmm.
There are white gangs as well. But if there's a white gang, it's not called a white gang, it's called a gang. But if it's a gang of Somalians in London, it's a Somali gang, right? So
Hmm.
it's different connotations, and they're not taking into account what really drives it. Maybe it's economy. Maybe in some cases it is culture, by the way. Maybe in some cases they're right. It can be. It's not a mix and. But these are complicated, nuanced things. No study has been done. Numbers get thrown around at your own expense.
And, as the situation in India showed, who cares about nuance? And
no,
we want a simple thing to
dude,
understand.
no
We
one
want,
cares about
it's
real
just-
information anymore.
The guy who's talking about nuance is the third guy, like the third.
Not even
position.
third anymore.
Yeah, like,
The Indian media was really shocking because I knew they were crazy. Media, not Indians.
hmm.
But it was even more like there are ex-majors from military who are in these shows who are like jumping up and down, kill them, bomb them.
Hmm.
Tonight will be a night of death for the city of Lahore. And I'm like, there are 20 million people in Lahore, you dumbass.
Hmm.
Why are you applauding that?
Hmm.
Is this, you want just people to die, normal people to die? What did Pakistani civilians do to you, right?
Hmm.
So I think people have really, I think Trump, COVID, Israel-Gaza war, Russia-Ukraine war. But essentially since COVID and Trump came around, and we have talked about this before, I think the world has just taken a dive into craziness in very various areas, not just this, not politics. Whether it's podcasts, whether it's conspiracy theories, whether it's alien shit, whether it's all sorts of things are happening everywhere. And we can talk about 10 different topics and 10 different insanities will pop up. Whether it's agriculture and Monsanto and all of these organizations taking over the seed farming and all of that. Whether it's food production, whether it's genetic manipulation, whether it's scientific research in cloning, chemtrails, any topic you pick up, every topic you pick up is getting crazier and crazier. 20 years ago, if you were talking about aliens, you were talking about X-Files. Now, it's an established fact that for the last 4 years now, that Pentagon and Washington Post and New York Times have actually published articles about existence of aliens, which Pentagon has accepted. It's not conspiracies anymore. These are factual things now. So, I don't know, something happened during COVID time.
Something happened, my friend.
And it just took...
I noticed when COVID was happening, and I was just discussing the possibility of a lab leak, right? I was just saying maybe it's possible, maybe it's a thing. It's on the table, right?
At the time, you were a conspiracy theorist.
It's in Wuhan. There happens to be a laboratory who's studying these things there. I'm not saying it happened, but it was a deliberate leak or like an engineered thing, you know. I was just saying, hey, that's actually like possible.
Yeah.
And I was surprised when even my friend told me, "Are you crazy? What kind of nut job are you? Go get some air."
Where was the friend from?
France. And I say, look, I didn't say it was because I say it's like, it's a thing, right? It could be. But just discussing this, it made you some insane person.
And now it's factual.
And now it's like, and by then, you know, China, I remember they refused to have an independent investigation. They say, no, fuck off. And by the way, I think this laboratory was sponsored by French, by the way. Like, it was a program with French and friends in China. And
China.
And I get it. Like,
China.
I'm going
huge.
to...
Sorry.
Huge.
Huge. Sorry, I couldn't.
Yeah.
Fucking Trump.
No, but
I love that
guy. How can you not? And of course, like, I get it. Like, it's not suspicious that they will refuse, like, some strangers to come into their own laboratory. Like, obviously, there's secrecy and things like this. But still, it was curious. And now it's more and more of a thing. And it's more and more like suddenly serious people start talking about like it's actually more likely than not that something happened there. And I'm saying it doesn't really matter in the end. Like, I don't care if China messed up. Like, of course, like, it's bound to happen. Like, eventually, in our lifetime, someone is going to mess up and
A pig
yeah,
fucked a bat in the
like
soup
it-
and the pigeon fell.
yeah.
No, that's not what happened. That's not what happened.
no, but like it's bound to happen. It's okay. Like it doesn't make China a bunch of assholes or whatever. It's just a thing of life. It's just a mistake, and we can learn from this. But somehow it made me like a
Bad person.
bad person just
And a
to
bad
ask.
person. But COVID was like, I saw a mini episode of that in India-Pakistan war recently. People lost their shit, and especially in early times in COVID. The first 5 to 8 months. Because the first 2 months, things were still shutting down slowly, right? It wasn't shut down. Then people got scared. And then governments exercised full control.
Yeah,
And people gave them the control.
they did.
And
So willingly.
yeah, and then people were enjoying this new state of urgency. But then after a few months, summer came in. You want to go out. Where's the festival? Where's the concert? And suddenly there's nothing. And then people started getting bored. And then the fights broke out. How can you say that this is happening for the wrong reasons? Why can our government... Because now you're basically telling me I'm cooped up in my house for no reason at all. When I should be going and fighting someone. But I don't want to fight someone. I just want to be told I'm doing the absolute right thing. I'm in the right. I'm morally a correct person. I'm keeping my distance. I'm wearing my mask. Screw you. I'm taking my shots. And then as soon as they come.
Yeah.
It was a weird time. I think there are 2 weird times in the last century of this kind. Most of the narratives around aliens visiting Earth, Roswell or any if you go down in the subject, any ones you find in the Brazil or America, all the visitations, all the sites, all of this starts coming after one singular event, the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So the theory is when humans detonated the atomic weapons, we do not completely understand what we did. Because, for example, the sun has something which is called neutrinos, for example. Neutrinos are emitted. We don't know what effect they have on anyone. They're emitted and they pass through Earth's core, right through our bodies. They go straight through Earth. They're particles. We can detect them, but we don't know what they do. And they're emitted from the hydrogen explosions happening on the sun. Now, what's to say that nuclear explosions, when they happen, they release particles or elements which we cannot account for. We don't know. They're being emitted. And they're not doing any visible damage to us. Maybe there are some things which travel very far. So the theory is that when nuclear explosions happened, humanity and the planet came into view of certain other species. And that's why all the alien visitations happen after 45, not ever before. There are no newses really before that.
I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know either. But, for example...
I think we're studying a lot of alien also when the LSD became a thing.
Yeah, that exactly. So that as well. So from 1959 to 1969, that period, everything is legal. In 69, they passed the laws in America to make all of this shit illegal. Yeah. So that...
And
definitely.
we don't have so much alien footage anymore now, but we have smartphones and everything. It's not so much of a thing, really. Like, you don't see so much Roswell type of shit.
Oh, yeah, that's what you mean.
No, but
yeah.
everyone has high-resolution cameras, not so...
Could be the visits are not regular. Could be they were visiting on purpose and we picked up on some technology. Who the hell knows? Could have happened, didn't happen. What happened on the moon, the dark side of the moon? There are 1,000,001 conspiracies when you go into this subject, right?
France.
Yeah. Maybe we're not having visits anymore because we've communicated with them and it just happens in a different way. Who knows, right? On the other hand, we have alien reports from Washington, so maybe from Pentagon, so maybe that's exactly what is happening. Who knows? I don't know. My point was, the second time to me is COVID. Because too many things changed in too many areas of life. People's behavior, sociology, politically. Too many weird things happened at the same time. I felt this general fear, we talked about it before, happening commonly with people.
Yeah.
People who never wanted to get married started getting married right after having kids. People who always wanted to move, just wanted to live in the city. There's a massive influx of people who think like you and me and who want to get out of the cities. Grow their own food, make their own chickens and all of that shit.
Right.
So all of that And a lot of other social effects of COVID happen, which I do not think we have complete accounting of in various cultures, in various countries, where they're on different terrains and political environments and economies. God knows how much. We are just sitting in Central Europe having these effects. We don't know what this effect was in Singapore, which is completely just a city. There's no way to get out. What kind of decisions are people taking? I can tell you, me moving from Holland to Spain is definitely influenced by COVID heavily. At the same time, I did this book reading thing. I started that a bit before 2021, and then it really came into it. But God knows how many effects that we've had through COVID. I don't know. Do you see that book, The Penguin Book of Demons?
Penguin Book of Demons. No.
You don't see it, right?
I see it. Yes.
I bought this from Finistris. I want to read. Have you been to that place where we went for the book club meeting one day with Fabio and Veronica?
Oh no, I haven't been back. No.
I went there to read the book. It's a very nice environment.
It's nice, yeah.
To read the book sometimes it's very nice to go there. What's the time right now? 7.
Almost.
Not they close.
7. Yeah. What do you think of? I was looking lately into prepping, for lack of better word. Resilience, like getting like prepared for, like, for example, what happened.
You mean prepping?
Prepping, yes.
Dude, it sounded like you're saying raping.
Raping.
I was like, what? What are you, Matthew? Where are you going?
Yeah, I took an old hobby of mine. I've been back into raping.
I swear to God, I thought he's saying, "What do you think about raping?" And I'm like,
yeah.
What?
No.
What is happening?
No, I'm not at that yet. Not yet. I know I'm French, but
exactly.
Prepping with a P, for lack of a better word. And I was getting into it, and of course, you start following these people who kind of like a bit on the edge, marginals. But I was following this guy who was a French guy, and during COVID, he started getting into this mindset. He already had a house in the countryside, and he had a store of food and everything, and he was saying, I'm just, with this lockdown, nothing has changed for me because I'm already living off the grid. And he got a journalist to come, like a big French TV, came to his place to film, and he's just a very chill guy, a bit, critical of government, obviously, but nothing extreme. He doesn't have like a pile of guns or anything. He's just a bit of marginal. And the TV, they put these weird filters and this anxious music, and they say, all these people, look, they prepare for the worst, and they have piles of food, and very anxious, It got me wonder, why do we hate these people in this way? Like, why anyone who dares prepare themselves, be just a bit prepared, to have just a bit of food and water saved, immediately become suspicious, immediately become, oh yeah, these people are close to right-wing theories, which is kind of true. But not all of them. Like, this guy is not even.
No, I don't think it's about prepper though. I think it's more basic. I've seen this happening with people without kids and with kids as well. I've seen it happening with people who are single and who are couples as well. When a person A, let's take an example. Let's say you have an iPhone, I have a Samsung. If I take my iPhone and I start giving it compliments, it can do this, it can do that, it can do this. The person B is not going to just see that person A is giving compliments to his device. The person B is also going to take it as a commentary on your choice.
Right.
It's automatic, even if the intention is there or not. You're going to automatically think, at least not talking about just his iPhone, he's actually talking about my choice of having a Samsung.
Yeah.
So when people go nuts about preppers, which are obviously in very small numbers, people are essentially pissed about, by being this prepper, by doing all of this thing, your actions are a commentary on my lifestyle that I am not prepared, you are prepared. What you're saying is somehow you know more, you are more intelligent, wise, farsighted than I am. You think by these actions you're saying I'm an idiot.
Right.
You're brilliant. Because you're prepared, I'm not. So I think it gets taken as a commentary on other people's lifestyle, and then those people in reaction get pissed and they're like, fuck you, you're an idiot, you're a conservative, you live in your country, and you're just, you're psycho, you're we're mating for apocalypse, which will never happen, which might never happen.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's more that it's basic psychology that people don't take people's choices as just their choices. They take them as a commentary on you.
I also think it's a sin in some way to not trust the system fully. Because what do you do when you prepare, when you do this prepping? In some way you say, I don't fully trust the system to provide for me everyday fresh food.
Mm-hmm.
I don't trust this thing to work well all the time. And they are right. Like, let's see what happened recently. Whole of Spain and Portugal without power for 10 hours.
Just one day. You saw that.
Just one day, yeah.
You were there, yeah.
Which was, okay. But how dare you not trust the system like I do? How dare you think that I might be in trouble one day?
You're saying I'm being lazy. You're saying my choice is wrong.
You're saying that I'm not right.
I'm gullible.
To fully trust this system. Which, by the way, is funny because even France, who is usually very much into, no, but we have nuclear power, like we're fine. They recently say you should have food and water for 3 days.
NATO is saying that for like the last 2 years now, by the way.
Yeah.
They've been saying it for 2 years. Everyone should have 72 hours of this and this and this.
So even the government, who has all of the interest to say, no, don't worry, we can provide, we are fine, we have food, we have water. Even they are saying, hey, maybe you should have some water for your family because you might need it just for a few days, just...
If money was not an issue, I would, at the very least, in Spain's slightly mountainous area, I would buy a property right now and move. I would get a lot of grain and all the things that we talked about, stock a lot of food, get some small animals, and try to grow my Obviously, I cannot go full farmer. I do not have the skill, number one, and experience. It takes a lot of study and experience over the years. Usually it's generational. So I cannot be completely non-reliant on the system. But I would definitely try to rely on the system a bit less, have some food and water, try to have some backups when it comes to heat, cooking, oils, electricity, have some satellite phone, that kind of thing. So I would definitely do some things if money was not an issue. If I could just switch, I would probably get 1990s or early 2000s or late 80s Toyota Hilux, Toyota Tundra, maybe a Land Cruiser, get a lot of spare fuel. Because those cars they can go through a fucking nuclear blast.
Yeah.
They just work. But the most basic thing about these cars, which people don't understand, is you can find a mechanic for Toyota Hilux anywhere on the planet.
Yeah.
Whether you're in Australia, Central Africa, you're in Siberia, you're in Canada.
It's like a religion. It's like a side society, like a parallel society. It's everywhere. Like
because the setup, like if you open any modern Mercedes or BMW right now, if you open the bonnet, you're gonna see a giant plastic box. You're gonna take it off, and then you're going to see the engine and all those things. But it's not traditional anymore. You need a computer and a cable to connect to the engine to be able to change things now. It's very different. Modern car mechanics is extremely different. Audis and BMWs and Maseratis and Ferraris and even the normal brands is very different. Those cars are simple, straight. This is the engine. Water is coming from here. Petrol is coming from here. It's more mechanical.
It is.
Right? It's not less electrical. There's more mechanical. This and this, you open this valve here, you put this tape here, you do, blah, 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 and it's fixed. It's running. And that kind of skill set in being a car mechanic is available in Pakistan. It's in India, Bangladesh, Russia, Africa. Everyone knows that. So that's one thing. It's the simplicity of the design makes them so durable. Yeah. It's not like they're made out of fucking titanium. It's the simplicity of the design. Because of the simplicity, they just get repaired over and over and over, and they keep running.
And there's a lot of OEM parts, and there's a big market of parts.
And like my Seat broke down in Netherlands. Now Seat is owned by Volkswagen in Germany. I had to wait for 8 days for the parts to arrive for it to get fixed. I had a Mercedes C180 new, so the door was carbon fiber. So I completely wrecked the door. They had to order it from Germany. I had to drive a Fiat 500 for 2 weeks. And if you have not driven a Fiat 500 after a Mercedes sedan, it's a humiliation of a different sort. Especially for a guy my size. It's like on the motor, it like moves everywhere. So these cars are indestructible. So I would probably get a lot of seeds, try to grow some of my own food, trial and error, see what to plant, how to plant it, read. You can see there's a book about farming right there as well. I want to read it.
It's a lot of work.
So yeah, it is. It's not easy. That's the other reason, right?
The money, yeah.
People don't go into these lifestyles because it's not easy.
No.
One, money.
I mean,
second, to go there to learn farming and animals and poop.
Humanity spent tens of thousands of years trying to move away.
From there, and now you're going to purposefully
go back to this.
I've always said, the best thing that can happen to you in a life is you get the ability to purposefully you do the difficult thing yourself and not wait for to be pushed into the difficult thing. People who willingly do the difficult thing, their lives are so much better. This is you doing the difficult thing on purpose. Ideally, you should also financially downgrade your lifestyle.
Right.
Forget about a lot of fancy things. Just move to a small cottage, do that, and try to focus on your monthly expenditure becoming this small. Do I really need this? No. Do I need a subscription to Spotify? No, I don't. Netflix, do I really need it? I can have torrents. I can download shit. I don't need it. So when you start really removing things, do you really need the gym? You cannot work out without a gym? We know we can. You can if you really wanted to, right?
You build a house.
Yeah. So if you want to get rid of your expenditure and make your footprint very small, you can definitely pull it off. But who wants to do the difficult thing?
No.
Like I want my Uber Eats to deliver food.
Yeah. On time.
Groceries. Everything is fine.
I think getting upset at your Uber Eats delivery, you picked, is this peak humanity? Is this peak modernity? You cannot go. There's
you get upset. I got upset in front of you in the office one day. Yeah, I got very upset.
I got upset too. And I was thinking, hold on.
Where is this fucking asshole? Where's my food?
Why is the minority delivering my food?
Is this the way it is? And then there are like people right now in mines in Congo digging out cobalt, which is going in my phone and their laptop.
Yeah.
With their kids on their back, cloth in there.
So, by the way, Mark Zuckerberg, who is not a nut job.
Oh no, he's not.
Does
not look like an android at all.
He has a bunker.
Extremely expensive bunker.
$270 million.
Sorry, what?
$270 million.
That fucking asshole.
For the bunker. I saw a bunker. I watched a video the other day. It's an old silo, like a Minuteman silo.
Yeah.
It's insane. We did like eight apartments in it. You can visit it. It's on all of YouTube channels. It's properly insane. There's a swimming pool. There's
he had apocalypse, but he needs a swimming pool.
Yeah, we do for children. You even have a park for the dogs. I mean, it's just you should watch the video. It's properly nuts. I love this kind of thing.
Jeff Bezos he invested a few $100 million in a project to make this universal clock.
Is what?
The clock.
The
know
clock?
about this? So Jeff Bezos invested a few $100 million in making a giant clock in the mountain or somewhere.
Okay.
And it's supposed to be universal clock. So even if Earth gets a nuclear war, that clock will continue to tell time. Did you know about this?
No idea.
Let's see. Jeff Bezos' clock. Jeff Bezos invested 42 million. 42 million in the 10,000-year clock. On a monumental mechanical clock designed to take for 10,000 years, according to several news sources. This project is a collaboration with Long Now Foundation, an organization focused on long-term thinking, and was conceived by Danny Hills. Let me just show you the clock. No, this is not the clock. It's
please show me the clock. What?
Yeah.
I think it's going to break down before the end of the world.
But it's being built under a mountain.
Okay.
It's big.
Yeah.
It's not this small.
You know what? I can do the same. You know how you do it? You take a mountain and you put a Casio watch below it, and you say, and that's it. That's all you need. For the 10,000.
That's what the pyramids are in a way, clocks.
Yeah.
I read, I told you Zacharias Stitchin book, which basically explains to you in detail how they are essentially supportive mechanisms for landing platform for spacecraft.
Yeah, I saw Stargate too.
And the landing actually strip is not actually in Egypt. The landing strip is in the modern day area of Ephesus, which is in Lebanon. So everything is pointing towards that specifically. The problem is it sounds nuts, but when you read that book, Matthew, I'm telling you,
When you read anything,
the mathematics is so precise across the globe for that one specific location, and it's not like I know what you mean. Like
They
you have a
follow the
number and then you work
sun.
backwards. So I get that number 27. I know what you're saying, but you need to read the book.
Oh my god,
It's so good.
I have so many books to read.
So what are you reading right now?
Welbeck.
Still
Yes.
the same
I
book?
paused it and then I came back to it. Yes.
Okay, you need to read some smut. I recently got a smut book.
Yeah.
It's called The Twisted Games. Apparently, it's not torture, but the girl gets spanked a lot or something.
It's for
So
women, right?
yeah, I was recommended that book. So this is my third smut book. I mean, I'll read a lot of serious stuff, and then I read sometimes a smut. I started laughing. The first one I read.
You're taking notes.
No. As I said, I'm a good boy now. So no, not taking notes. But it was written about Peter Pan, a variation version. It's called Neverland. Peter Pan is a grown-ass man. All of his crews are grown-ass men. And they just get girls from the world.
I want to read Soul. I want to read this.
You really want to read. Because you know what it is? It's a reverse harem book.
Okay.
When the girl has multiple guys.
Okay.
It's a reverse harem book.
That's good.
So
I want this. Let's finish on this.
You want to finish on like that's what she said. Wait. Like wait. But this book, you sure? Okay, let's finish.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's finish.
We'll finish. Okay.
I can hear the kids. I could hear the kids.
Yeah. I think they are there.